afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, another riveting, another amazing Propagandacast from your host ImperialDane, master propaganda heroes like defender of the fatherland. Off here to an amazing 2 vs 2 on Alliance of Defiance between the north. You got InsaneHoshi and ImperialDane himself fighting here for the Wehrmacht. Germany, Deutschland, the Groß Deutschland Panzerdivision vs. south. You got Valkyrie and Junglejake fighting for the Soviet Union, socialism, and the 7th Mechanized Corps. And we got here Elite Armor, Breakthrough, Fortifications, Mechanized Assault, Encirclement, and Assault Support with a mix of infantry, machine gun, and Panzerfaust bulletins versus Combined Arms, Scout Motor, Mechanized Support, and Scout Motor were chosen to Fort Valkyrie with mostly infantry with a single Su-6M bulletin there for Valkyrie. And I go straight here for Assault Support since usually versus like heavy SOT builds, have a lot of SOT players. I generally find that Assault Support with strafing runs can be quite useful, sort of breaking down, they begin blobbing up, and the fragmentation bombs can sort of deal with any sort of dark in positions. Artillery field officers is pretty good, and the upper blitz can just ensure extra resources down the road for more air support. Moving down the west side here for the fuel point there, Samex being laid down, M42 moving up, Grenadier securing territory for the fatherland. InsaneHoshi here moving up aggressively up the eastern side of the Sturm, and his Fultoners looking to secure the area here before the Russians get close to it. And lastly, they make it harder for them to get to it in the first place. We got more Fultoners arriving here for InsaneHoshi, just more infantry. And we got engineers moving up, pioneers grabbing the fuel point, MG42 coming from nearby house. Gunners moving up, we got a double engineer start there from Junglejake, Valkyrie with just a single engineer, but conscripts on the other hand. And we notice Junglejake is going for a pretty fast mortar there after the machine gun moving up here on the side. I actually fall back here. Should I be occupying the house? This is a bit of a tactical error I'm committing here, to be honest. But my opponent's going to be able to rush to the house and get it before me. Gunners and engineers finding up the conscripts supporting there in the centre. InsaneHoshi is just securing territory in the east, not putting so much pressure on there. Go engineers, Max putting up position in the house. Machine guns going through position. Of course, right here I realise I've made a mistake, since again I should have occupied the house, but I did not. It's a bit too preoccupied with matters. Gunners moving from both sides. I'm going to have to go for a mortar pretty fast to have a chance against this. Engineers are rushing the machine gun. Then we got the Gunners doing what they can to deal with engineers. Then we get a wipe. He's even wiring off to try and block the retreat path of the machine gun. But joke's on him. He might actually end up losing the engineers. Getting a small wipe in the early game is going to certainly help me out a tad. InsaneHoshi pushing him around the centre, going to listen with the Maxim. And no sign on the mortar as of yet. There we go. Got another man from the way. We got another Maxim out there for Valkyrie. So he pushes ahead here for the motherland, the Rodina. So continuous skirmishing here, firing here. We got a mortar out there for a Junglejake. Winding him with some light artillery support, and there goes right here on the Grenadiers. Doesn't kill anyone, but leaves them in a very precarious position. That's going to force a retreat here soon enough. They're very low on health. That's not going to do much good. Here, meanwhile, engineers pushing force, making it hard here for InsaneHoshi to defend, because the flamethrowers pretty much force him out of the buildings, and the Maxim means he can't, fight easily out in the open. We got the Sturmhaus, but they're flanking quite nicely Valkyrie's other Maxim, though the other first Maxim will turn around to support that Maxim and ensure he doesn't break through there. Sandbags being laid down to help cover the fuel or victory point there. Skirmishing over here, more conscript away there for Valkyrie. Junglejake, not much else there. Going conscripts, got mortar sitting up there, and we got the mortar machine gun going up here. Mortar firing down the Maxim, and there go catching that on them here with the MG42. Heavy fighting already going on here by both fuel point centres. Not seeing so much action. We can see there InsaneHoshi is doing a bit there to harass. Mortar moving up there. Grenadiers moving in. Bypassing the Maxim, mortar fire running down, and mortar suppressed. Pioneers, they're getting caught a bit out in the open, a bit too slow to move around there, to be honest. Getting suppressed, but still I keep on. I keep firing down mortar fire as well there. Grenadiers around taking advantage of the Maxim, actually focusing down the Pioneers. Line main to attack from the front here. And we got a smoke screen down for him to, obfuscate the machine gun. Does do anything against the Grenadiers. And there you go, mortar force back, leaving the Maxim out in the open. More Maxims out there for Junglejake, Valkyrie there with double conscripts, double Maxims. Fighting against InsaneHoshi in the east. Flamethrower engineers certainly making it more difficult here for him to do what he wants to. In the centre we got a Kuban moving up there to try and harass and pressure the Bolsheviks. And grab the centre victory point there. This time I'm not going to use it because now he's got a mortar out anyway. So if I risk getting the machine gun inside there, I could quickly get wiped. I have no interest in losing it like that. Shifting my gun, let's try to support InsaneHoshi around the centre. Maybe harass the Russians a bit, outmaneuver them a bit. Up north here, tech up being done right after first getting another MD42 to help slow down the Maxims and all that. Looking to outmaneuver the Maxim here. And attack from both sides with the Gunners, but this time more units moving up here makes it a bit more difficult for me to actually achieve my goals. And there go further reinforcements. Pretty much puts a halt to my plan here. Forcing a full retreat from there. InsaneHoshi continues skirmishing out here with Valkyrie, who keeps trying to extend the lines of the Soviet Union for the motherland, undaunted by fascist opposition. But his maximum is taking heavy fire from both the Kuban and the Volksgrenadiers. But there you go, Russian counter-charging forwards there. No anti-tank grenade stop, but still ends up losing the Kuban. Back here, bunker up first for healing, since some of these grenadiers have taken quite a beating, so medic bunker here would be a good priority. And of course, I like to make a nice company. Mortar firing down the machine gun there, moved too far ahead, I wasn't paying attention. Forcing retreat immediately. Mortars are falling back, as obviously that's going to be the next exposed target. Up here, reinforcement done. Forced to push up my grenadiers, for now anyways, and pulling back the pioneers, since I still need to like to make a nice company. Medics on the way. And we got double maxims here. Forcing missiles against InsaneHoshi's front line. He sets up a battle group headquarters right here by the cutoff point, going for a flat half track, as he sends in troops to support me and cover up my mistake there. Medics up, healing, and they go like to make a nice company going up for the German army. Guardsmen out here for Junglejake. Both Serb players have gone for guard motor, indicating they're likely going to try and go for a bunch of guardsmen, but also very likely planning something with T-55s and heavy mortars. There's certainly been an increase, I think, in search strategy, just emphasised going for a lot of maxims and then supporting them with a lot of heavy mortars. So we'll have to see how that works out, but certainly that would be a good guess right now. More tech gasping about, MG42 covering up there. And there you go, double maximum they're going to use. The wooden fence won't last much. It certainly won't last for long. Other MG42 coming, you need to retreat once more. The mortar again. Did not anticipate running into double maxims like that, and for that matter, the guardsmen. That is sometimes what happens. Flak half track around there for InsaneHoshi. In the centre of Russian securing territory, they got a 2 half track away. Since with all these maxims and whatnot, I kind of figure flame for a half track could be really good. Guards taking a really nice position. They can sort of cover the area here, and due to the position, it can't easily get close to it. And because I'm going for the flame for a half track, just easy to go for regular flamethrower to then deal with this. So I'm in a slight bind as I wait for the flame for half tank with his guard squad here, which others covers a lot of territory nicely. Smoke's been down there, good usage of it by Mr. Junglejake 80. Trying to just keep the guardsmen occupied. And all the way over, we got a counter squad flanking behind him, fortunately trying to protect from the assault here. Instead, I get caught off guard by here. Very good flank there by Junglejake. In the east, we can see that InsaneHoshi tried to outmaneuver Valkyrie, but sadly not much luck. Interesting enough to note, though, right now Valkyrie's just saving a lot of his stuff in the eastern side, meaning InsaneHoshi can much more easily just, support me and just play on the defensive for now. So that's a bit of a tactical error, I think, there by Valkyrie. Bit of a tactical error. There you go, more to find the guardsman. Half track on the way, though. Not enough to do for upgrades yet. Machine gun firing against the guardsman. But it also leaves InsaneHoshi the only one without a doctrine. And there you go, guardsman force away, heavy mortar fire, artillery fire of all kinds. Maxims concentrating up here. Flame for half tech. There we go, getting upgraded. Troops taking losses. Guard officer out there for the Wehrmacht. Flak after shifting eastwards. Sees him on the way there. Figure the officer could be useful for his smoke ability, amongst other things. Comes down to fire from the MG42. Nice engineers, never mind me. Carnage evolves, they've got mortar fire, they're just raining back and forth. Maxim falls back. And meanwhile, InsaneHoshi is just causing havoc here behind the Russian lines, breaking through Valkyrie's front, causing untold carnage and disruption. Well, mostly disruption. Flampanzerwagen almost done there. MG42 moving here. Whoops, apologies there. And there we go, InsaneHoshi, right before the 10-minute mark, goes for fortifications. So we got the doctrine chosen here from all sides by now. I'm going to be the one, essentially with no real artillery sort of call-ins, of course, and then I get air support. And orbital blitzes. But there you go, T-70 out here for Junglejake, and right now I have a bit of an issue. I actually don't have any anti-tank weapons. I've just been so preoccupied with everything else. I forgot about the possibility of T-70 being rushed out against me. Bit of an error there. To put it mildly by me, at least another area of this match. Not good. Gonna do something ahead. Pushing around here for the south, harassing, flanking, trying to put pressure there. Smoke screen around the maximum. Let's help me grab the point there. T-7 with the damaged engine buys a bit more time. As Junglejake doesn't want to risk there actually being some anti-tank about, then begins just falling back behind. Constantly being scorched here with a Flampanzerwagen. Burn some, Rudolph! Burn some good! I want some glowing red! And send, you know, ashes. But there you go. As soon as I can, I go for the Pack 40 here. InsaneHoshi there, sort of holding the line here. I'm just trying to flank behind it, cause a bit of disruption, maybe cut off the rations from their fuel in the east. But no luck so far. Slightly extending my lines. Fueling reinforcement there, Pack 40 almost done. And the artillery field officer just falls back. We got the M6M out there for Valkyrie. And Junglejake prepares for another assault against German lines here in the west. Got some light machine guns out for my grenadiers, but that's about it. In the centre, InsaneHoshi holds off against Valkyrie's pushes, but the flak half-track is about to go down. Field gun and Mission 6 they're causing heavy damage to the lightly armoured half-track, the heavily armed half-track. Junglejake just waiting to push it. Seems like he's building up for something there. Possibly trying to suss out my lines there before making any commitments. Pack 40 is being moved ahead, but is a bit slow. Then before setting up. T-70 going for the mortar, needs to reposition. Mortar fire raining down. Making it certainly a bit more difficult for me to set up my stuff there for preparation for the assault. We got Guardsman flanking up and taking advantage of the attention the T-70 is drawing in. He sneaks about there. Very good work. Pack 40 arriving. Guardsman almost done. MG4 through them. Might actually be able to catch them. There we go. Suppressed. Mortar fire raining down. Machine guns laying down here, fine, there you go. T-70 takes it from the Panzer, up there, Kanone 40. InsaneHoshi trying to push for the fuel point again. Incendium piercing rounds being unleashed there. Guards staying up position in the side of the house. Flamethrower object could try and scorch it out. Mortar fire, more death here in the east. InsaneHoshi making good progress, outmaneuvering the conscript here. As Valkyries move most of his maxims towards his cut-off point to defend that. So, good opportunity there, I think, by InsaneHoshi. Flampan's moving to burn out the Guardsman, quick fall back. We've got a lot of mortar fire here, and I think we got the first heavy mortar out. There we go. Valkyrie's called up one, getting 3 kills already. Successfully grabbing the fuel point there, rendering neutral, but that's about it. Already forced back due to all of the support weapons that the Valkyries unleashing against them. Pioneers moving up. Heavy mortar having taken some losses, falls back rapidly in the face of the Pioneers. Second guard squad called up here for Junglejake. More DP light machine guns on the way. No sign of heavy mortars for him as of yet. Just a bigger infantry emphasis. Pioneers have grabbed the car. And I was briefly considering some S-mines or telemines, but the S-mines would be just easily dealt with by a light vehicle, and the telemines would take too long, I think, just to be able to lay that down. Theoretically, laying down a telemine at Wayne, it doesn't expect it to be pretty great. Grenades trying to support here further, taking advantage of Junglejake's lack of activity here. I tried to maybe sort of slightly tilt things further in favour of InsaneHoshi in the east. Doesn't quite work out, I think, but I do still nonetheless manage to deny them some resources. And there you go. Now Junglejake's got a heavy mortar out as well there. So we got 2 heavy mortars out in the field and a regular mortar for the Soviets. That's a lot of artillery. Guardsman team looks to be taking a sneaky path up here, using the house here. Very good. Should actually consider mining this area. Flamethrower moving eastwards. Machine gun wiped out. And there you go. Guardsman spotted. T-70 moving in there. Again, good attack there by Junglejake. The only way could have been better, I think, within a smoke screen. But he doesn't lay those down. Incendium arm piercing rounds, Pack 40 about there. For some reason, not moving the T-70, taking a direct hit there. Flamethrower going to deal with the Guardsman. Grenade over the Pack 40. Incendium piercing doing damage. Almost got the T-70, and down it goes to the MG42. Pack, though, gets wiped as well. Guardsman, though, suffering catastrophic casualties here as well in the process. A rather desperate defense there in the east. InsaneHoshi's just further digging. He's actually going for tank traps now instead of sandbags, because the tank traps whack as heavy cover, they're much harder to destroy than the sandbags, so that's basically InsaneHoshi's plan. The flamethrower object running about there, trying to look for some easy targets to murder. Cause some harm there to Valkyrie and his Junglejake, or preferably both. And as all of this has been happening, I've been taking up, they're going for Supreme Core, InsaneHoshi going for Schwerpunch to the quarter speed circle around my carve point, since, well, it's the one that sort of connects the fuel point there, so obviously if we lose that one, it's going to be quite painful. Hey, finding around the centre, we got lots of Maxims laying down fire like Kedmeth's flak half attack, all moving up, Flamethrower going to try and support here. They're a bit more risky since I don't know exactly what's there, but still, thinking a bit of pressure from the Flamethrower half attack could pay off. As Junglejake remains a bit on the defense, at least seems to be building up for another attack. And there you go, infantry with mortar support moving up. Stug on the way there, since If they're able to rush out T-70, I may not be surprised to be able to rush out some medium tanks. So rather than say trying for a Panzer IV, I just assume they're going to get hit with more arms. So I'm just going to go for the Stug. And there you go, air support calling around the centre. A Stuka. A Sturzkampfflieger. Quickly laying down heavy suppressor fire there against Valkyrie's lines, pinning down maximum crews, suppressing others. Gasping their repulsed by the MP42 Grenadiers here. So much artillery though, and you can really tell the frame rate. Flamethrower in there to burn out the Bolsheviks here in the west. Scorching through Pack 40 joining in there by accident. Not meant to shoot there. Luftwaffe continues to reign supremely from the skies. Got the moving up the eastern side here, right through InsaneHoshi's lines of defence, staying branch with smoke screen laid down by Valkyrie. Very good work there by Valkyrie. Getting an from 6 there for Junglejake. Flak half track down. A nasty blow there to InsaneHoshi. And as all this happening, I've actually been setting up a normal blitz here on the munitions point, getting me twice as many munitions out at this point, which allows me, of course, to call in more air support, which is basically the plan there. I want to just be able to consistently throughout the fight be able to call in air support, be it air support of both strafing runs or fragmentation bombing runs. Cut-off point being hit again, flamethrower tech rolling in, but there you go, conscripts moving in and anti-tank grenading it. Still, cut-off point being hit, field gun spotted, but there you go. Instead of trying to get away with them, just going to try and make it harder for the field gun to spot and deal with it, and just try and do as much damage with a flamethrower half-tech. Noting Valkyrie has been lining up there, very good, very good. Sadly not enough, and finally the flame for a half-tech goes down, but nonetheless damage has been done. Stug there ready, going for a second Stug, since, you know, 2 Stugs are better than 1. Much better. Junglejake, they're slightly, I think, shifting more towards the centre, possibly not so hard here directly on the fuel point. Victory point wise, the war starts and leads over the Russians, the 7th Mechanized Corps. Constable into the Volksliga before then retreating. And we got a Yak Panzer here for InsaneHoshi, basically thinking the same as me. We're likely going to be in a lot of trouble in terms of armoured numbers, so rather than trying to pull ahead here, while we can't anyways, let's just prepare for dealing with large quantities of Russian armour and deal with it. Mortar, of course, makes it hard for me to defend there. Grenadiers supported by an officer pulling ahead here. No, we got smoke called in there. There you go, smoke strike. Allowing an advance. Up north here, the flare down. It's one machine gun wiped. And in fact, destroying the machine gun entirely, I think. Flanking up behind here, we're going to do Pioneers and the artillery field officer. We can't quite see due to the smoke, but there you go, wiping the mortar. Caught by Maximum though, which rather disrupts a lot of it. Officer super close eventually, but I have to fall back. Stooping up, they're trying to catch the H-6, since I kind of figure our friend here does not have any field guns. And there you go, Stugs take out the H-6, depriving Junglejake of vital vehicular support. Heavy fire on the Stugs from the Gark, support. We still got the M42 Prime coming fire as well. There, stopping the Guardsmen in the pursuit. In the centre, Valkyrie is still dug down. He's going for an anti-aircraft traffic to stop me from going for any more air support. And in the east, we can see InsaneHoshi's attempts aren't quite hitting yet. But there you go. Fragmentation bombs ready. And I think we got a smoke in there from InsaneHoshi on Valkyrie's positions. Very nice. In the west here, though, fuel point losses had to fall back due to all the heavy mortar fire suffered earlier. Stugs ready repairs. Units being moved forwards. The counter-attack reclaim the fuel for Germany. Deutschland. In the south here, half of course also has another purpose. It makes it harder for infantry to bombard and harass. But again, I suspect it primarily went for just to counter my air support, since normally most SOAP players will not go for the anti-aircraft tactic. I mean, some do, but the vast majority generally won't. And as all this is happening, you can see that InsaneHoshi is building a howitzer. Leichter Feldhaubitz. Full skill score on the way there for InsaneHoshi. No orbs on there go. Artillery field officer moving in there. Veterans E1 gained. Almost got the engineers. Almost, but not quite. Push him out, try and flank behind me. calling in smoke here on the max. We could also try to call an artillery strike. Troops moving ahead here, Stu's being fixed up. More mortar fire, there you go. Gab's caught with the grenadiers. Grenade off against the artillery field officer, there you go though. Diversion, leading by example by the Vaterland. Look at what I can do with my pistol. Look at this Russian. I'm gonna shoot him in the head. Pew pew. In the center, Max are taking heavy damage, all being taken out here by machine gun fire, and we got another strafe run in to try and support. Of course, I'm not aware of the anti-aircraft attack. At least it's not factoring in there. And they're going to immediately shot down. Half-track, by the way, is surprisingly much more effective than the Austrian that's shooting down aircraft. Still manages to suppress and pin down a lot of troops. Sadly, the InsaneHoshi does not seem to be able to take advantage of them. Meanwhile, on the upwest here, Junglejake keeps pressing up there, forcing me further in the defensive. Going for a flak panzer here to help deal with some of the infantry. So it's a bit cheaper than the Panzer IV. InsaneHoshi continues the bloody battle in the centre. A massive meat grinder of a fight here. Artillery and everything else just being unleashed. In the west there, troops in the dirt, but I am unrelenting. I keep up pressure. Forwards! And there you go, flak panzer arriving here for the Groß Deutschland. So much mortar fire though. Valkyrie has gone for second heavy mortars. We got 3 heavy mortars, 1 regular mortar, and 1 German mortar. That is a lot of mortar fire, plus light infantry gun for InsaneHoshi. So that's basically 6 artillery pieces on the battlefield. That is a lot of artillery. Flak Panzer moving ahead here. Infantry moving forward well trying to secure here. And there you go, direct hit from a field gun brought up after the double Stooks. He goes for an obvious counter to the double Stook, which is a field gun since the Stooks can't deal with anything. Well, goodness gracious, that's quite a frame rate drop here due to all the artillery and terrain deformation. Can be a problem with some of these team games, since they can very much tend to evolve into artillery fests depending on the map for starters. And we got here seeing artillery from InsaneHoshi right here in the midst of Valkyrie's elements here. He's too slow to retreat. That's going to be heavy. There you go. Just falls back. But even then, that's too slow. Maxim shattered by a howitzer strike. Back here, units need repairs. Troops in reinforcing. InsaneHoshi slowly advancing, seizing a Maxim. Has just got more artillery running down there. Almost wiping out InsaneHoshi's own Maxim. They just pilfered from the rations. Heavy damage here in the east side. Nothing really happening. Got a single Maxim, but the InsaneHoshi can't really send in something to deal with. He's got no tanks and he's only got infantry, which is just going to get suppressed. Though, of course, there's the option. He tries to flank through here and sort of sneak up behind it. Though, of course, that requires you know specifically where it is and such. MD-34 seized by the Valkyrie against InsaneHoshi. Mines down there could actually be set off by accident. More fighting for the field, but we got the officer once more leading by example, charging ahead, and it is being suppressed. Another cis-3 there for Junglejake. He really wants to put those Stooks on hold. He's also gone for an anti-aircraft after get his own. Probably again in part because he's worried about my air support, and the man can also to deal, you know, with infantry, as it is pretty good at dealing with that, to be honest. Fragmentation bombing run on the mortars. Mine goes off. Gets both mortars, and in fact destroys one of them. In fact, the heavy mortar is completely destroyed in the process. Artillery fire here from InsaneHoshi. Guardsmen dug in, got the Stooks moving ahead. Standard, of course, still a lot of anti-tank guns. And there you go, Maxim down is recruited. More casualties, more men from Junglejake dying in the mud, as Valkyrie now remains the one with actually the most units in play of all 4 players. Brutal stuff. Attack here, we got the Stooks supporting, but without machine guns, they can't do a ton of damage here to the infantry. Cis-3 moving up, and he opens up the Sturmgeschütz. Bit of fighting around here. Jagdpanzer moving forward there for InsaneHoshi and the Groß Deutschland. Machine gun officer moving hit, the Austrian hanging back. There we go, calling in an artillery strike here on the field gun positions, forcing Junglejake to reposition. And guards from there being suppressed. Since hit the dirt only just increases the damage output, and the range does not, you know, make them harder to kill or suppress. I should note. In the southeast, the Valkyrie remains still in a reasonably strong position here. I see InsaneHoshi is not making much progress. Most are really trying to outmaneuver. We got the flak plants moving up here. Thick smoke. Maximus field guns moving up there. Shoot and both miss since he has to attack round, and that makes them a lot less accurate. Plus, there's just a chance he attacks incorrectly. But there you go, smoke lifts, and they all expose themselves to the incendiary armor piercing rounds to them before shoot. But there you go, immediate high close rounds threatening to take out my remaining machine gun. And all the way back here, we got eventually 3 mortars for me, by the way. Machine gun, some managed to avoid all of that, but that's just barely. Hanging about here in the east, back here we got nothing further going on for me, no take up. As for InsaneHoshi, not much else either. Brushes there, we don't have any further take up for Junglejake. As for Valkyrie, we've got an H35 and now T-34-6, actually T-35. And Junglejake's going for another heavy mortar to replace the one lost. The strafing run around the centre here. Keep forgetting about that anti-aircraft tactic, to be honest, because there's just so much else going on. Getting immediately shot down, and Osprey will not be able to do that consistently. Guns being suppressed, pinned down here by the Maxim. Fixing up the Stooks, but either way, mistake by me. Should be more mindful of what I called in, or even just trying to stay up for a fragmentation bomb, since that's much harder to take down for the aircraft. Plus, it just tends to get its job, you know, done in one strafe, anyways. My apologies there. Flak Panther Stook moving ahead here, trying to cast at half track, doesn't quite work out at all. But there you go, bypassing the field guns. Half track gets away. Overall, this did not work out. Into trying to push through. A failed attack by me, to be honest. Not enough inch support either. Got the officer calling in. Artillery here on the Maxims, and Stook falling back here. And there you go, nice hit from the howitzers on Junglejake support weapons. Mortifying the Maxim, but doesn't quite get it. One Stook down, and the howitzer Sandy doesn't quite seem to be able to finish off any of the remaining troops here. Though there's a large pile of corpses from just all the support crews there. Yak Panzer carrying my Stooks retreat, very nice play there by InsaneHoshi. Very well done, very well done. As this just brutal battle of artillery continues. High attrition. So far there, though, heavy difference there. In this case, the one that's actually sort of got a reasonably efficient one. It's actually Valkyrie was the first one to go for heavy mortars. Double there. Junglejake and hence the one, I think, the one struggling the most, suffering the most their casualties. Maxim left about behind. Stook being repaired. Almost on the way there for InsaneHoshi. Another Sturmgeschütz for Germany. As I grab the centre victory point there to at least prevent them from bleeding us out more. Attack here on the cuff point by Valkyrie, runs into a bit of resistance here from InsaneHoshi, but even then it's not quite going as well there as InsaneHoshi would have liked it to. T-34 repairs, issue 5 good to go, and we got another push here from Junglejake, who has yet to take up, by the way. Yet to take up. Big push towards the centre around them, trying to push against me at the fuel point. And it's moving up here. Straight into the anti-aircraft half track. More artillery fire here. Almost wiping out the howitzer. InsaneHoshi certainly making some good progress with that. Like the Feldhaubitz. 16 kills. Another push for the Westerly here with the Maxim. Machine gunner hanging about here. Stook's moving out. And immediately proceeding to that conscript rolling ahead here. Infantry moving forwards for the fatherland to once more man the front line as Ivan launches another assault here for this Junglejake. Got a lot of fire there in the Stook. The field guns and an anti-tank grenade as well. Not good. Maximals falling back here. The pressure's just too much. In the centre, Junglejake is actually making progress there. As Valkyrie's, I think, replenishing his forces before making another push. Half track in the way again though. Calling it to the strike here around the area to make it harder for Junglejake to defend it. Maybe he can catch the track a bit there. In the centre, InsaneHoshi launches a desperate assault there, but he's not really putting much pressure on the centre of East. He obviously wants to keep his opponent tied down there, but still, I think he needs to make some bigger efforts towards here to try and outmaneuver the opponent and gain the resources there. And of course, I have to defend this a bit, so it's a bit hard for me to just push into support, but I do try and, unless, you know, harass flank and maybe cut off resource here for the East, just a bit from time to time. Now the T-55 on the way there for Valkyrie. Junglejake continues not to take up, Stuke being repaired. What I could consider if I was trying to take up and go for Panzerwerfers to try and deal with my opponents, that end up going for a third Stuke, because I'm not entirely sure what to go for to counter all of these mortars and the field guns. I'm a bit at a loss, to be honest, but I'm cancelling the Stuke. Field gun sitting about here. Another double blitz for more resources, fuel and munitions. Field guns moving up there. Machine gun desperately holding the point. They got one with a maximum by the way there. Conscripts moving forward to support the mortar, and there we go. Right to the machine gun. Field guns hanging about here. And there we go. As soon as I see this basically just perfect cluster of units from Junglejake, I immediately call in a fragmentation bomb, hoping I don't get taken out by an anti-aircraft gun. And there we go. Wipes one of the field guns. The other one barely survives. Gun charging forward to the machine guns. Pioneers rolling head to try and go in and clear out the field gun. Half track nearby as well. Machine gun pushing back to the guardsmen. Heavy mortar fire raining down on it. Half track falling back. The infantry pulling ahead. Field gun set up, and Stu's going for the half track. There we go. Secures a good hit, and then tries to deal here with the field gun to deny. And there you go. Another hit there, but still the Stu's can't get away. Having destroyed two of Junglejake's, I would say, battle elements, at the same time, got a gun lead squad flanking about, he hurting the mortar just a bit. But that's going to hurt Junglejake and the search quite a bit. And compared to now, his teammate is at 100, he's at 37. Like, Junglejake is just taking heavy losses, despite, you know, just hammering over the mortars. Compared to Valkyrie's unit preservation is much stronger. Much stronger. Take up there being done. Heavy Panzer Corps. We'll be going for a Panzerwerfer at least that way, try and silence all of the Russians. So we've got T-55s coming up. Let's go to 4 speed rolling the Stooks. We've got Raketenwerfers opening up there on the T-55s alongside Jagdpanzers. And Stooks slowly rolling out here. One T-55 there almost knocked out. Low in health, damage again. There you go. Main gun out. Really bad news there for Petrov in his little tank. And there you go. Abandoned even. Go on the centre victory point here up north. A thin defensive line. We got more guardsmen out for Junglejake. Trying to catch the other one. T-55 was destroyed by Valkyrie to ensure it did not fall into the hands of the fascists. Field gun H-55 hanging about nearby to try and prevent any armoured push through here in the east. And Valkyrie's now going for Katyusha. Junglejake has finally taken up, by the way, going for a mechanised armour company of his own. I would say it took him quite some time to get there compared to Valkyrie. Junglejake getting out on the west for now, staying close to his teammate until he can rebuild his forces better. Stealing a Raketenwerfer, actually sneaky work there by Junglejake, very sneaky. And there you go, Panzerwerfer for Großdeutschland. So much artillery still, I mean, it's pretty much a moon landscape in the centre of the map with all the craters there. Mortars hanging about there, really falling back in fact. And these guys, the T-55 should find moving up and pressuring InsaneHoshi's flank. The Raketenwerfer wiped. Looks like he actually lost a howitzer previously, got wiped at the very least. Either way, it's back at 0. Actually, looks like he got wiped, so he's down to half health. They've got H-5 going. Could try and take it out. The Jagdpanzer is already a smoking wreck in there. He's going to go for it. He's going to go for it. They don't quite enough resources nearby to this quickly rush his aid to deal with the H-5 here, so there's a high likelihood that InsaneHoshi loses his howitzer. So much mortar fire. Bad group heads were about to go down as well there. Securing territory on the west. Panzerwerfer moving up though. It's still going to require a good target to call it in on. The Stooks arrive, but it's just a bit too late here. Katyusha firing, or is that a Panzerwerfer? maybe it's just my imagination. Troops push back there. Battle Group headquarters barely standing. Grenadiers repulsed as they try to further push out and pressure Junglejake even more around his base. But he's pretty much just sort of pooling his resources in terms of putting them together here with Valkyrie around the centre, forming up a massive mortar battery there, 4 mortars. InsaneHoshi's by been almost more or less decimated. He's down to just 3 infantry squads in the Jagdpanzer. I didn't actually know he got down this low in terms of forces, meaning I'm pretty much the one that's sort of largely holding the front line now, since I've got a much larger force here. Guards pushing up into the officer, pack wiped. 300 points left. The Russians are beginning to bleed out the German army here. And comes to this offering up to the artillery field officer, who is of course using diversion to just further boost himself. And there you go, double guard squad moving up. Could be a target here for a Panzerwerfer. Artillery called in. I'm not entirely sure by who. Actually, never mind. It's a strafing run here to try and stop the Russian infantry, having taken out at least 1 aircraft half deck. I think it's going to work. In fact, the other one is also gone. So, never mind. It's there. Missed it. And there you go. Panzerwerfer barrels unleashed against the Maxim here. And a total wipe. No, in this case, it wasn't too far away from the target. Good use of the Panzerwerfer relies on A, knowing what you want to hit, and then B, making sure you're not too far away from the target. Looks like the half deck still took out the aircraft though. There's something else it did. But there you go, guards between the suppressed troops there. Smoke called in on the Maximus that's up. Got the Stuke moving ahead here. Guardsmen looks like they actually got wiped here. 5 T for moving in, and there you go. Jagdpanzer shoots. InsaneHoshi though is still very low on units. In fact, he's down to just 2 infantry squads now and a light infantry gun. This is starting to look pretty critical there for InsaneHoshi. Pretty critical. So much heavy mortar fire though. Absolutely out of this world. Anti-tanks are going to push against the Stugs. Guards defending what remains of the central victory point there, as they continue to bleed out the Wehrmacht here. 275 versus 239. Another rocket barrage. This time it's the Katyusha. Of course, I can call in more artillery barrages if we want to as well, thanks to the artillery field officer, who's got the coordinated barrage ability, which I actually did use. But right now, InsaneHoshi is just acting as a punching bag here for the Russian, in particular Valkyrie is just hitting him very, very hard. Relentlessly so. And InsaneHoshi needs to be careful around him. Looks like he's going to try and go for Mechanized Regiment and then not play for King Tiger. Stuke's good to go. So much heavy mortar fire. And regular mortar fire. And there you go, Katyusha for Junglejake as well. No tanks, just the Katyusha. Maximally caught by numerous machine guns, heavy and light. Officer moving in, supported by pioneers. The Kedmos opening up. Katyusha fire here on the centre, wiping one of my grenadiers. Of course, leaving behind the light machine as well. Bad news for me, great news for him. Artillery called in here. Can't quite tell which kind of artillery it is. There you go, heavy mortar fire. Hitting some of the mortars, or Maxims and lights. Forced retreat there from Junglejake. T-Flip further repulsed. Pretty close here, pretty close. InsaneHoshi's barely got any map control now as well. He's about to lose another unit if he's not careful. Deutschland has been pushed heavily on the defense. We got Panzer fire there, wiping out the regular mortar, setting off a mine, almost wiping an engineer squad as well there. Junglejake though is certainly taking a beating as well, but not quite nearly as much as InsaneHoshi. Damage engine the Stuke. Bad news there. Third Stuke on the way. No theory, I could go for another Panzerwerfer here. Getting reinforcement, repairing here InsaneHoshi's Jagdpanzers, and he clearly moved it up to my base for a reason. That he also gone here for repair pioneers, just to further sort of support me that way, since again he's clearly aware he probably can't fight independently on his own, so he's moving over to support me instead until he cancels the push on his own, which then means of course I'm suffering more pressure here. Grenadiers constantly finding out here with light machines, but there you go, Rifle Grenade tilts the balance in favour of Deutschland. My God, Fritz, there's just so much artillery. I'm afraid I'd get murdered by accident. 32 guardsmen hitting the dirt here by the fuel point. Panzer a bit more to go from calling another strike. The artillery field officer can coordinate another one. Has he gone for another heavy mortar? He has not. Another raft grenade here off on the guardsman. Mortar landing a bit as well there. Another Katyusha barrage. Another howling sermon there from the Stalin organ, as the Germans called it. Artillery strike called in here on the machine gun. Heavy mortars. Panzer are good to go. Maximus not moving. Oh, that's actually an MG-34 still there from InsaneHoshi. And there you go. The heavy mortar fire on the MG-34. Doesn't quite take it out. It does push into a much worse position. On the officer of the machine gun to push it away. In the centre, InsaneHoshi is actually trying to push out in his own on this. And there you go. Artillery strike here as he unleashes Syrian artillery there, destroying one of Valkyrie's support weapons. 200 points left here for the German army though. Officer pushing ahead here. And there you go. Coordinated barrage. Somewhere around here. And of course, it can just as well fire soon afterwards. Almost catching one of Valkyrie's heavy mortar crews there, but not quite fully wiping it. Nonetheless, gaining veterans 114 kills. Panzer Grenadier Squad is the course starts and empties some of its best infantry reserves into the fight. At least the second company does. Katyusha fire here from a Valkyrie. InsaneHoshi's forces are slowly being built up, but he's still very minimal in what he's already got. The Schwerpanzer Corps is down, quite a loss for him. Quite a loss for him, and of course a loss for me, since that means I got nothing to protect my carve point that easily. Panzer Grenadier ramming here. Junglejake marches his men out into the the wasteland here, no man's land in the centre. HF being fixed up here into tank one's moving up. Could be a nice target for a Panzerwerfer barrage. So tank on fire here. The Kedmer foot field and hanging back here. 197. T-3045 moving up now for Junglejake. And there you go, going for the Grenadier Stukem up support. Triple Stukes, of course. Another Panzerwerfer here for the Großdeutsch, and adding 2 pieces of artillery, and of course making the artillery field officer's coordinated barrage even better, than he calls it, not just one Panzerwerfer, but 2. Bringing up here. Took out a lot of damage on the enemy. Second Panzer ready, and the artillery field officers coordinate barrage bombs over. There you go. T-55 coming up here, threatening the flank, and force me to pull back my Stuke. But there you go. Got a T-55 there, taking out Junglejake's one tank. And running here, trying to catch the Katyusha. That's a bit risky, but I'm doing it with the Stuke sitting on it. This is very risky. Being my flanks quite exposed, in fact further exposed, but I'm kind of thinking we catch it, it would be worth it. Machine gun defending the carve point now. And the southeast Dukes clearly overextended. I pushed my luck way too far to get home. Now we've got the T-55 moving. Stuke needs to turn about here. And they turn, but very slowly. Panzerwerfer barrage down though, taking out the field gun. Massive barrage here. That was actually, I think, called in by the artillery field. No, that's called in here. Just more rockets. More death. So much death. Now Junglejake is the one who's actually had a smaller force in Tennis. She's actually been able to build up somewhat. In this case, he's been setting up for a King Tiger, the Königstiger. That's the centerpiece of the 4th Panzer Grenadier Company there. Guardsmen moving up here. Being held back by machine gun here. Flares down to sight for mortars and whatnot. Panzerwerfer here almost ready to fire again. So much more to fire though. Pioneers force back. Stuke loses his main gun. In the east here, we can see InsaneHoshi slowly pushing ahead further on his own. Though he's still really short on infantry. Panzer Gun Squad here nearby ready to support. Partly because I forgot it over there. But is not really good. Fire here. Machine gun forced away. Stuke's taking further damage. And there you go. Direct here on the H5 from the Yak Panzer Veteran 2. 163 versus 233. Both Panzerwerfers more or less ready to fire. Artillery field officers ready to coordinate another barrage soon enough. There we go, firing here. Looking, I believe, for some heavy mortars to silence. In this case, the veteran 3 over here doesn't quite finish it off, but nonetheless does some damage. Does some damage for Deutschland. Stug being repaired. Desperately need of it. Got a Ken with increasing forts for Junglejake. Once more taking this path. They really should have mined this at some point with this man's like. Looking at this a bit, you know, Dane, you really need to do something about this when your opponent consistently uses this path to creep up on you, you potato. So that's definitely something they could easily do a lot better. Guards coming up, hitting the dirt. I'm calling a mortar strike there on them. In theory, could have called in a coordinated barrage, but I don't want to call a single just to kill a guard squad there. Oh wait, he's not moving though. Mortar firing down, there we go. Almost wiping out the guard squad. Kid moving up here, creeping constantly. Guardsman almost got the center victory point. And there you go, Kedmith unleashes it from its ambush and the Stugs. I'm just too slow to realise what's going on there until it's too late. One Stug down. Nice little ambush there. Officer almost wiped out here, but all of the artillery fire there from the heavy mortars. And there you go, Grenadiers pushing back like Kedmith. Finally another attempt to break through here in the east by InsaneHoshi as he feels more confident. Panzer machine gun moving up through the centre. Panzerwerfer's moving ahead here for Deutschland. One very close to Veteran 2 and increased accuracy, for that matter, for fire rate of fire. And there you go, machine gun hit here by the Katyusha and directly wiped before I can retreat off here. But you can see that Junglejake once more begins to move behind Valkyrie here. Panzer almost being wiped out. There you go, Panzer barrage down in the machine gun doesn't quite land as impressive a hit as one would have hoped for. Partly because the Panzer was rather far removed from it. Another Panzerwerfer barrage off though. This time on the heavy mortar, landing some rockets elsewhere, gaining eventually 230 kills, but not a big enough impact. In the east, Katyusha King Tigers, T-35s and H-35 all finding out here with Obersoldaten. And this area is going to see is much more pristine because it's not really a lot of fighting, so there's not been a lot of artillery there either. Compared to the centers, just again, Moon Crater on the west side is even more so of anything. More Panzerwerfer fire. Or is it Katyusha fire? It's a bit difficult to tell since they both use the same sounds. Katyusha fire on my Veteran 3 Maxim. And white. Got me now machine guns now. Artillery field also moving forward with Panzerwerfers there. Pioneers in the centre there getting blasted. And he's actually at it with a Kedmith artillery. Actually, I haven't even tried to deal with it. So I could actually risk getting hit by it again. Artillery field trying to keep ahead here. Not quite succeeding. Calling artillery off fire there on the Maxim. Before ending up retreating. Almost getting it, but not quite. Attempting to creep up here. Got no infantry nearby. Bit of mistake with me again. No S mines either. They do have enough ammunition for a fragmentation bombing run somewhere if necessary. But there you go. Panzerwerfer barrage unleashed. Almost getting something there, but not quite. And there you go. Comes from the centre there. Finding the entire getting very lively. But not quite wiped. Bit of quiet for once, actually. No artillery fire. Well, bit of a hit there, but much more quiet there. 140 points left. We're moving up here, and I suddenly realised, oh, scheisse. I need to get my Panzerwerfers out of there. And somehow to try to salvage the blitzes. It just all happens too slowly here. Again, I was completely caught off guard, which I really shouldn't have been, but I was just too preoccupied with everything else at the same time. Moving up my Stugs now ready to support the King Tiger here. So now all the arms being shifted over here. So in the west, there's not really need for the Stugs. And I'd rather try and show InsaneHoshi doesn't lose his King Tiger, because if he loses that, we're really in trouble. But there you go. Both all blitzes taken out there. Nasty little raid there by Junglejake. Very nicely executed. They're really nicely executed. And of course, realizing a mistake. But there you go. Fragmentation bombing run on the Guardsman. He doesn't realize what's going on. And I get the Kedmith as well. Double wipe there with a single fragmentation bombing run. Guardsman hitting the dirt here. Taking fire. In the centre, pulling forwards here. Artillery field officer calling in a Panther barrage on the Guardsman here. There is double barrage on the Guardsman here. Oh, actually, no, I called in on the heavy mortar there. which by the way still survives with one man. Stuka's Fuss fires, one man still survives. That is the luckiest mortar crewman ever, or unluckiest, depending how sort of you're surviving for all of that. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's deaf. I mean, for sure. Panzerfaust can still fire. So again, that was a coordinated barrage, which again does not work off the usual cooldown. That's the sneaky thing about coordinated barrage, it does not. Going for a Sturmpanzer that theoretically could go for a Panther, but I kind of sort of think again, much more emphasis on murdering infantry and support weapons. I think a Sturmpanzer would do me more good. Moving up the support ones, Junglejake's better got an infantry. Valkyrie's got some infantry and not everything else, but he's just, you know, slowly been falling back. He's not quite nearly as aggressive as Junglejake. He's more willing to play cautiously, plus he's not been the primary target of my Panzerwerfer barrages. Or the fragmentation bombing runs. There you go, Panzerwerfer barrage here against all of these bunched up units, hoping to kill something there. Doesn't quite land successfully though. But still seems to force back Valkyrie a bit here. And there you go, Sturmpanzer 4, Gefechtsbereit. But there's a need to retreat. Artillery field officer with 29 kills. He's actually been doing pretty well, to be honest. And the Dukes West will see the H5 over there, which I need to support my Sturmpanzer then, of course. Obviously, H5 is just going to take out the Sturmpanzer easily. Artillery field officer moving up in his own, need to be careful with that. Pioneer's about to get a wipe there. Further losses for the Großdeutschland. Sturmpanzer, Stukes moving up. Shoots and doesn't have an impressive hit here. Artillery field also retreated. Didn't think he had to call an artillery. There you go, Panzerwerfer, Veteran 2 ready to fight, closing on Veteran 3. Lot of nice Russian targets in the west. Guardsmen retreating. But pushing them off the victory point. On the center, this is 204 though. In the center, Guard making a push there. And in the east, we can see there, InsaneHoshi moving up as King Tiger and the Jagdpanzer. As we got an ace tank straw out there from Valkyrie. T-Fed from the Veteran 2 going for it as well. Now there's Stukas of Fuss barrage here from InsaneHoshi. Panzerwerfer repositioning. A mortar bar is still alive. I actually forgot about it. It's actually gotten 30 kills, which isn't too bad. We got another Syrian artillery here ready for InsaneHoshi. This has just been a crazy fight in just terms of all the artillery being unleashed. I also don't think I've actually used Panzerwerfers this much in any battle before, to be honest. I have not. That was pretty much just a personal record there. Double Panzerwerfers, just all of these barrages, including the artillery field officer ones. But we got the H5 running here, 100 points left though. Jagdpanzer opening up on the ace. H5, close to Veteran 4 there actually. The Jagdpanzer, need to be careful not to lose it. Aircraft taken down. And there you go, Veteran 4 on the Jagdpanzer. Finding a notice, got the Stukes on here. Panzer is moving forward. Sturmpanzer advancing for Germany. And there you go, going in for the H5. Both Stukes miss though. Both Stukes miss. Buttoning up from the Guardsmen. The H5 could still go down into the Stukes. And pop goes the Weasel. Panzer moving up here, threatening the further flank. If you got a Katyusha on its own, T-55 they're moving about as well here. Artillery fire raining down, they're almost taking out the Guard squad. We got Syrian artillery, I think. Nope, that's it. No, that's something else. Other way. There you go, T-55 trying to flank the Stukes. H5 nearby, Panzer moving ahead. Almost getting hit by mortar round here. Too much going on. It's ended up actually mishandling my Stukes. I should have had them spread out so the T-55 can't circle about them both, but I failed to do that. Heman pushing up with the Sturmpanzer attacking here. Panzerwerfer fire being unleashed. Panzer there trying to take out the Katyusha with their own assault rifles. Doesn't quite work, but there goes Stukes splitting out. They're making it hard for the T-55s to take them out. And that certainly makes it hard for the T-55. There you go. Got the Jagdpanzer joining in. Target weak point there. Blinds the T-55 for a bit. And that goes down. A Kedma for nearby. And we can see InsaneHoshi hitting the eastern victory point. 92 left, that's 195. Veteran 3 anti-aircraft half. We've got another H5 for Valkyrie. Junglejake is just barely hanging on. He's got an infantry squad, a maximum mortar, and a Katyusha that's filled with holes. Pietrov, I think you're filled with holes too. Shut up, Dmitri. If I pretend I'm not, I'll be fine. King Tiger's heading out. 38 kills in the Panzer and 19 on them, both veterans too. Of course, also got the coordinator barracks if necessary. Almost taken out by a mortar around there. Katyusha almost taken out. Retreating. And then wiped by the Katyusha. Didn't even get to call the Katyusha Panzer barrage. What Panzer gonna deal it? Going out. There you go. Panzer barrage almost takes out the conscript, but one man survives. In tears and blood and dirt, but he survives. And he is Dmitri, the survivor. And it seems like Junglejake there's been a bit too inactive, causing Valkyrie to fear his left. He hasn't, but you know, his forces have been absolutely decimated. He's barely got anything left. Most of it's dead in the mud. Leaving now Valkyrie to just hold most of the line himself. Well, what's left of the line. Stukas was firing. Panzer was moving up there to unleash more barrages as well here against Valkyrie. Heavy mortar taking a direct hit. Maximum getting blasted. And there you go, wiping both the heavy mortar and the Maxim. Leaving Valkyrie with only one heavy mortar now. And we got apparently an infant half check out here from InsaneHoshi, I think helped spot for my Panzerwerfers actually. Grabbing up the Eastern Victory Point with a Grenadier squad, a bit on his own. King Tiger lands next and they're almost wiping out an entire guard squad. 21 kills veterans to 1. There's a thing heavy mortar hits in return. Yak Panzer is very close there to the ace level. I got a Panzerwerfer that's almost there as well with 40 kills. Fresh artillery field officer because, I mean, coordinated barrages are just great if you can get them off in the right place. They can absolutely wreck stuff most of the time. Unless apparently they're Valkyrie's heavy mortar, in which case they might still survive. But there you go, Yak Panzer moving ahead here, opening up in the HU-5, which just gets blasted here. Need to get them moving on my own. I'm leaving with this a bit too much to finish. But there you go. Panzerwerfer barrels down. Units getting obliterated. Mightily. Moving up Pioneers to repair the Sturmpanzer. Valkyrie and Junglejake moving up here. Got a Syrian artillery called in on this sort of very bunched up parade. Bad news there for the Russians. Very bad news for the Russians. A lot of artillery fire here. Bit more Rasmus there. Go moving in with a flanking assault here from the north. Stuks artillery field after Sturmpanzer moving in. Panzer barrage running down as well here. Catching units, murdering them. Coordinator barrage called in as well. Just more rockets, more death. More destruction. HU-5 goes down. Might actually have gone down to just the sheer number of Panzer. No, it's actually the guards that suffer here from it. Either way, it's just complete orgy of explosions. Just everything there just gets hammered into nothing. Junglejake was both fighting with anything. Valkyrie's still got a massive force, but he's just wielding it very defensively. There you go. More rockets. More death. Stuke still and Panzer Pioneer sending out here. Panzer finding around the Calf Point here. We can see the Valkyrie's making a big push for the west. He's finally had enough. He's finally going on the offensive again, it seems. But we got Stukes waiting for him. We got the Sturmpanzer. Quickly focus down the HU-5. There you go. Gaining eventually 2 Stuke more. Target weak point. They almost got the ace. HU-5 tank destroyer. There you go. Went down to the Yak Panzer ace. No, it's not quite an ace yet. It's close there. HU-5 down to half health. And there we go, Valkyrie leaves. Game over. GG. 15 seconds short of an hour. An absolute bloody meat grinder right here on Alliance of Defiance. I end up being the one killing the most, partly I think thanks to my Panzerwerfers and some other elements there. Valkyrie in this case to an extent carried the fight a lot. He dealt a ton of damage, to killing the most Junglejake, and he was just a massive punching bag as the fight went on. InsaneHoshi did a lot of damage, he also suffered a lot of damage, taking quite a few casualties. An absolutely brutal fight there. An absolutely crazy fight. I certainly made a bunch of mistakes here and there, but in the end, the Panzerwerfers really was just what pulled me through here. Including an ace Panzerwerfer and the artillery field ability just to call in both of them at the same target. Certainly also proved to be really, really useful. So that was definitely just absolutely bonkers, and the map's just completely scarred by it. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something phenomenal. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment, share it with everyone. And if you like what I do, you can consider supporting. I do try to do this for a living, so anything can donate and support me with would be appreciated. Links in the video description. This is ImperialDane. Cheers. Thank you all for watching, and see you all tomorrow for a nice hunting episode. Bye.